Greetings. Jin here, creator, artist, and writer and publisher of Symphonic Versus, Nocturne's Romance. So, just wanted to go over a few things today, kind of touch on where things are moving with the series. And as anyone who knows me knows or has been following uh, my adventures in publishing and all of those things. I've been publishing my series for 32 years now. That's a long time. 200 rejections and just so many things just didn't work, and all the people that I wanted to work with weren't interested in working with me. But I kept going because I knew that what I was doing was exactly what I wanted to tell art wise and what I wanted people to see. So, but that's what brings me to today. Now, I've not used crowdfunding. My company, Phantom Blade Productions, uh, none of that has been used to try to bring anything with the series. Well, starting next month, a lot of things are changing for me and the company, and they're all really really good things. And there's a big part of that change, but I can't talk about that yet. So we just have to wait until March 18th, and then I'll be free to discuss that. So, in the meantime, I did want to touch on I am trying my first ever crowdfund. Now, Indie Crowdfund is I think, a newer platform. It's not like Kickstarter or Indiegogo as far as the scale, but I've heard good things about it, and I decided to go with this platform. And I'm doing a small crowdfund just to test out how the series would do. Now, without crowdfunding, I've sold almost 13,000 physical copies to date. And that's through a various combination of ways, but that's where the sales are at, and I'm very grateful for all the support. But I figured, now why not try a small crowdfund? The books are all already completed, so no one has to worry about will they get their product. I have 17 volumes that are in print, and volumes 18 and 19 are releasing the same day in September, on September 9th, 2026. That's when they come out, and those will conclude the first story arc of the series. So the first 19 volumes have been just the first story arc, and that will bring that to conclusion. So I'm excited about that. But I would like to be able to get more support and backers for anyone who's interested in the series. Now, Symphonic Verses, it has been dubbed the best indie comic you haven't read yet by MSN and ScreenRant, and hailed by USA News as the West heir to Final Fantasy and Castlevania's throne. Now, these are from two separate published, no, three, excuse me, separate published articles from ScreenRant, one from MSN, and then one from USA News. So when we put that into just perspective, like just the perspective of it, let's say someone is new to the series. Now, for Symphonic Verses to be an independent book, not attached to a legacy publisher, I don't have corporate backing. It's not like Image. It's just me. I'm a one man show. But for Screen Rant, a very well known and large media news outlet, MSN, a literal news site and aggregator, USA News, another huge platform, for them for them to say this about the series, I think that speaks volumes about what it is that I have to offer. Now, one thing I want to clear up right away. No, my artwork is not AI. This is how my artwork has looked for years. And the funny thing is that it was rejected 200 times by the mainstream industry because of how it looks. So that's the very reason why it got rejected by these companies before. So no, it's not AI. This is how it looks. I learned art from Indonesian, Korean, and Chinese art experts. And in those parts of the world, art is viewed differently than it is here in the West, especially when it comes to comic books. It's a very different approach. So that's just the facts about that I wanted to touch on. But back to the accolades about the series. Now, Final Fantasy, Castlevania, undoubtedly some of the largest, most successful IPs in entertainment history. They just are. Worldwide fan base. Hundreds of millions of hours played, copies sold, so many things. And yet, to be mentioned in the same sentence as the two of them, that tells you the quality and the caliber of what it is that I do. And so that's why now I'm coming to this new audience and I'm saying I would like to share my series with even more readers and get more people interested. And that's why I'm trying indie crowdfund. The books are already done. I'm offering a ultimate edition of the first 8 volumes in one stunning hardcover collector edition. I've already printed about 6 copies of it, and I'm going to be printing more of them. But so there are already books that are physically already here in my office, and I'm going to be printing more very, very soon. But everything else that it comes with has already been made and printed before. Flyers and bookmarks and postcards, the collector edition boxes. So all that would be needed is to just print everything else, which those are things I have been meaning to print anyway, because whenever I sell a book from the website, it always comes in a collector edition box. So you always get that. But with this, it's a new box, it's a new design. And so that's what I'm excited about, that to be able to get those out into the hands of even more people. But you get that, you get the soundtrack. There are so many things. And again, everything is done, everything's already completed. And the theme with Symphonic Versus, life is quite cruel, and it can beat us down. It can beat down the people that we love and that we care about. We lose things. We don't have power to make things right. We don't have the ability to fix the things that have gone wrong. But what if you could? What if we could alter that? What if we could change it and make it right and make it the way it's supposed to be? And that's the very human element to the story that's set in this very stunning fantasy backdrop. And that's that dichotomy between the story and the characters and the world. And they all have their own perspective that they play in everything. And so I want to share my life's work with more new readers so they can share it with their friends and their families and people that they love, and be able to delve into this romanticized darkness that is told as this beautiful dark fantasy that's really a melodic opera in how it's presented. And I really, one of the things I always take away is how people are impacted by what they see and read and feel from the story. And that is the greatest compliment, to be able to know that your work affects people the way that it can. And so I'm very thankful, and I feel privileged to be able to have this interaction with readers and know that something that I created over 3 decades ago is having an effect on them in a positive way. And and that's really something I couldn't be more appreciative of. So the campaign is going to go live, I believe, March 15th or 16th. It's one of those. I'll have to look at it again. But please, if you can, support the series. The books are already done. When the campaign launches, I have previews from inside the book. There's art, there's the synopsis, everything is there. And I just want to be able to share that with people and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I hope you'll give it a chance and get the stunning quality. And the thing that I can assure you, the quality of not just the art, the story, the packaging, then the shipment of the order. I can assure you, you will get your order packaged in a way you have never had a book packaged before. And I know, because what I do, nobody else does that way. And I know that for a fact because I have a very particular method that I use, and it works, and items arrive in perfect condition every time. There has never been a book that has arrived damaged to a customer. So I would appreciate the support, and I want to be able to keep sharing this series with any who are interested in those kinds of themes. If you like Castlevania, if you like Final Fantasy, if you like Hamlet, if you like Bram Stoker's Dracula, it sits in the vein of all of those types of settings, but it is its own unique thing, really, in just the way that it's presented and it's delivered, and the world that it takes place in. Because of course this is not Earth, it takes place in a world called Levi Summonos V, and so there is a specific reason why it's called that, but all of that is explained and explored. And again, I'm offering the first 8 volumes, magazine size, hardcover, stunning quality, collected edition. It's an illustrious edition, really. Then there is another tier where you get the first 8 volumes in the collected edition, but then you also get volumes 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you can get the first 12 volumes in that one. And I just want people to be able to keep appreciating what the series is and what it does for readers. So thank you. And I know I kind of rambled. I don't mean to, but it's something I am excited about and I'm passionate about, and I can't wait to launch this. And any support that I could get, I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing more Symphonic Versus Nocturne's romance with you all.